Hey everybody, Jonathan Mayer here, and I'm back with another Pro Wrestling Crate unboxing. This is for the month of May 2025. For reference, today is Memorial Day, Monday, May 26th. Full disclosure, I actually received this on Saturday, the 24th, but we were over in Cincinnati watching a Cubs game. We went to the game yesterday, so had to let it sit on the porch and marinate a little bit and wait for you guys today. But I'm going to get this opened up and let everybody see it. Let's go over who we expect in this crate. This is a mystery crate, as we may know. If this is the first one of my videos you've ever watched, thank you so much for finding me. If you've watched 70 of these videos before, thank you for that as well. I appreciate it very much. If you do like this content, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel and threw a like on some of the videos. But this is a mystery crate. We get it every other month. And we have an idea of the wrestlers that are going to make up the items. We know the type of items, but you just don't know what's what. That's what makes it a mystery, and that's what makes it fun for me. That's why I used to watch these videos before I put them out. I've been putting them out for almost 5 years now, but I did watch them before that. I enjoyed them, and I'm like, let me get them and put this content out for others. Some people will say, that's just junk and not worth it. I don't really agree with that in most cases. But if so, you don't need to purchase the crate. You can just watch it through me, live vicariously through me. But I do have a lot of good friends at Pro Wrestling Tees that put out these crates. Even in AEW, that's a big part of these crates, you know, in the wrestling industry in general. I have some friends, and let's support those friends and purchase these crates. That's what I think. I don't know. This is just a little way to give back every month for the entertainment that I'm given. So, enough of that. Let's take a look at who we expect in this crate, and then let's just bust it open and see what we've got. I've been waiting for this thing since Saturday. You guys have been waiting for it. Let's see what we've got. Sometimes we have a theme to these crates, and this is a tag team theme, and this is who they told us is going to be in it. We're going to have something from RVD and Sabu, you know, as a tag team, and they announced this before, unfortunately, Sabu passed away. You know, he passed away maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago now, but it was announced before that happened. The Hardys, Los Guerreros, and the Insane Clown Posse, and more, it says. Now, they did tell us that the Insane Clown Posse are actually going to be the Micro Brawlers. So we do know that. Sometimes they'll leak that out to help sell more crates. That just makes sense. That's marketing. So let's take a look at what we've got here. Let's bust this open. I feel like I've been talking a lot. All right, usually, full disclosure, again, I usually crack this tape before I start the video just to make sure it cuts smoothly, because it doesn't always cut the smoothest. But today we're going to do it live on the air, and we just got it. So let's take a look at what we've got here. First thing we've got is the card. It goes over what we got this month, tells us who we're going to get next 2 months from now, but we'll look at that at the end. We don't want to be spoiled. Okay, first thing we're going to do is pull out a t-shirt. I see we have a black shirt, and I can see the next shirt is not black. So with this first black shirt, that's cool. I don't know if they wore a shirt that had this type of logo or not, but it says the whole effing show, which we know that was RVD, and then the sa effing boo. So I don't know if that's how they kind of refer to it or whatever, but that is cool. I like it. I like RVD and Sabu. Probably prefer this over just a picture, their pictures on a shirt. So it has like a nail. Let's just go look at it a little more in depth. It has a nail through it. It has, you know, the barbed wire for Extreme. I'm not really sure what this kind of pattern is supposed to be in the top one, but that's cool. All right, let's take a look. I see something else that's in here, and it's kind of making me laugh. But take a look at our next shirt, because it's right here. It is not black. It is very soft, and it is the first time we've got a shirt this color in the 5 years that I've done the crate. I like this a lot. It says Hardys forever since 1992. You know, purple and green are kind of their colors we see in a lot of their stuff. I really like that shirt. I like it better than the first shirt. The first shirt, I like the Sabu, and I like RVD. I don't know if I love the design. This one, I mean, I just like it overall. Very cool. Okay. Next up, we're going to get, now this is, maybe I didn't really say it leading into this, of the items that we know we're always going to get. So we know we're always going to get 2 t-shirts. You know, you're maybe always going to get 2 micro brawlers. That might change. You're going to get an autographed 8x10. Those are things that you're always going to get. But then there's a few other items as well. So, okay, we got a pair of glasses here. I was like, what does it say on there? It says Truth and Turbo. And then on the side, it says the Outrunners AEW. So we've got a few different Outrunners items that are really popular right now. I mean, I'm not going to wear these out as sunglasses. Most people probably won't, but it's kind of a novelty item. A lot of this stuff is kind of throw-in things. So, neat concept. I mean, I'm not going to reuse that, but... next up, we have a lapel pin. Maybe I didn't mention that. We're always going to get a lapel pin. Sometimes we're going to get a chase. This one, it is not a chase. We have Los Guerreros. I do like lowriders. We once got a Latino Heat pin with a lowrider on it. And that's cool. All right. We're going to go ahead and go to our micro brawlers because they're right here. We knew they were going to be the Insane Clown Posse. We do have a chance at a chase. It doesn't look like I got a chase on either one. Now, the Insane Clown Posse, if you have ever heard of them, which most of you probably have, but I know people like my mom are watching this video. I doubt she's heard of them. They're a rap group that's been around for a long time, but they also have wrestled as well. They still wrestle. They wrestled back in the day. They wrestle now. They have a wrestling promotion. So we have Violent J. I will crack these open before too long. And Shaggy 2 Dope. I like these. I've never been a huge Insane Clown Posse fan, which you would call a juggalo. That's what their fans are. But I've always kind of on the outskirts. I liked them. You know, I had the Great Malenko album of theirs back in the day, CD. So that's cool. Okay, we've got a few more things in here. And this was a tag team crate, so it makes sense that we have 2 of these. It looks like we're getting an air freshener, which maybe you would get 1 of those. But if this is a tag team crate, you might get 2 of them. We have I think this is an air freshener. I mean, it looks like it. We have Earthquake. I don't know what scent he would be. We have Earthquake there. And his tag team partner, the other Natural Disaster, Typhoon. Now, I used the Orange Cassidy air freshener that we got. They had that classic, you know, portrait of Orange Cassidy. I had that in my car for years. I think I just took it down 2 months ago. I don't know if I'll put these up or not, but I mean, they're pretty darn cool. I like wrestlers, so they look like micro brawlers. Kinda, I think. A micro brawler look, but they're air fresheners. All right. I think we're down to our last thing, and then I will circle through these again. We'll go over our card, things like that. So here is our autograph. Now, sometimes if you go over that list, we didn't have an extensive list here. You might just be able to figure out who this is. I think it said we were going to get RVD and Sabu. We got that. The Hardys, we got that. Los Guerreros, we got a pin. And Insane Clown Posse, we got that. So we don't know who this is going to be. It feels kind of thick. So I think we have 2 in here. We know it's going to be a tag team. Maybe it could be 1 picture with 2 guys and 2 autographs, or 2 pictures, or let's see. There are 2. Oh, no. What the heck? And I don't know if this was intended or not. There are 2. We have Alex Reynolds and John Silver, Johnny Hungy from, you know, Dark Order. So I'd say that'd be our tag team. And then we've got another one here. I think that's Dr. Tom Pritchard. Now, why he would be in here, I don't know. And I think that's who that is. I mean, I think it says Dr. Tom. If so, I think that's Bruce Pritchard's brother, like a longtime wrestling trainer and wrestler. I'm kind of confused by that one. You might remember last time I was a little confused because I got the same autograph that I had gotten in a previous crate. Maybe this is a make good. I don't know. Let's take a look. We're going to circle back through here, and then we're going to take a look at that card. And then I know it's been 10 minutes already. I'll get you out of here. You can go do something else. Enjoy your Memorial Day. But we'll just start with what I've got in my hand. We have a Dr. Tom Pritchard autograph, I believe. I'm pretty sure. And I'm not sure exactly why we got that. We have, maybe he trained the Dark Order, but I don't think so, no. I think at least Alex Reynolds was trained by Brian Myers. So I don't know. Let's see here. I dropped one of them. You got my live on-air confusion here. Live to tape. Alex Reynolds. John Silver. Maybe I'll give this to my wife. She might want to hang it up. She's not a fan, I wouldn't say, of John Silver. He got a little annoying in Being the Elite back in the day. We used to watch that. So, but she does know who he is. We have our air fresheners here. The natural disasters, typhoon and earthquake. We have our micro brawlers. Now I will pop these open so we can take a look at the back. Insane Clown Posse that consists of Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, I say this about every time, but we've got resealable packaging now in these micro brawlers. We didn't start off this way. We started off in bags. But if you just kind of pop this open here, the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast guys kind of brought this about. You can slide this out, but you could put it back in if you wanted. You don't have to. We have a card back here that you can cut out, trade with your friends, make a coaster out of them like I sometimes do. Do whatever you want. Okay, Violent J here. We've got the front. He's making a little C, I think, with his hands. I don't know if that's for clown or what. And then the back, we do have Psychopathic Records. That's their record label. I think that's a very cool micro brawler, very toyetic. Let's take a look at this next one here, Shaggy 2 Dope. Same deal. The bottom's kind of open. I'll slide from there. He's got, now, Violent J also had it. That's what they call the Hatchet Man on the front, their little logo. It's got the Hatchet Man on the front, giving the birds, and then he's got the number 3 on the back. I don't know if he always wears things with 3, if that has a significance or what. Shaggy 2 Dope. We have our Outrunners glasses, Truth and Turbo, Los Guerreros pin, the Hardys shirt. I really do like the Insane Clown Posse brawlers, but this has got to be my item of the crate. Hardys forever. I really like that. And last but not least, we have our black. We're always going to have a black shirt. Sometimes we're going to have 2 of them. We have our RVD and Sabu shirt. Let's take a look at the card here, see what those things were called. If you wanted to purchase any of these, I don't sell them. I mean, I always hang on to them or gift them to a friend or something. But a lot of people will sell some of these items to get a few dollars back, helps pay for the crate. You can find them on, Edward Bay or things like that. But this is how you can search for them. That shirt for RVD and Sabu, they're just calling Ethan. The Hardy shirt, they're calling it Since 1992. The ICP Brawlers, there's 250 chase versions of that. So where the colors are a little bit different, there's less of them, they're more desirable because of that. We have our Los Guerreros pin. There's 100 chase versions of that. Sometimes that's glow in the dark or also just a little bit different color scheme. It does say we have our, so we have our Silver and Reynolds autographed 8x10s. We have our Natural Disasters air freshener. We have our Outrunners glasses. But then it specifically does say Dr. Tom Pritchard bonus autographed 8x10. So that was an extra throw in. And then we've got a code here for 20% off our next order. So I enjoyed this crate. It gets to the point, I've been doing this for 5 years. Do I need these items? Of course not. That's not the reason you buy a mystery crate, because you need them. You buy it because you enjoy it. I enjoy the mystery aspect, doing these videos for you. And then I've got wrestling shirts to wear every day if I want, which I usually do. But let's take a look and see who we expect next time, and then I'm going to get you out of here. So our next crate, now it does have a long, I was told about this. It has a long paragraph of something up here. Basically what it's telling us there is that we've gone to where we have 2 micro brawlers in each one of these crates because of the current, economic climate. They can't keep that up. So we're going to get just the 1 micro brawler. I'm fine with that. I completely understand you have to deal with current conditions. And then, I mean, I've got all these micro brawlers up here. So about every time I get one now, I'm taking one down because I have such a big display and I don't really have another spot for them in most cases. So I'm okay just getting one. I mean, it takes out the ability of getting a tag team in a crate like we did this time. So maybe for our last time here, it was cool getting a tag team, although not a traditional tag team, but cool nonetheless. So that's that. Some people are going to be upset about that. Ryan Barkin and the team at Pro Wrestling Tees, you got to do what you got to do. We got to keep the lights on up there. So in our next crate, this is who we're going to expect. We're going to get a special Cactus Jack and Terry Funk Deathmatch 30th Anniversary t-shirt. That's a mouthful, but that'll be cool. We're going to get items from Paul Walter Hauser. He's like an actor. I know he was in Cobra Kai, other things, but is now dabbling in wrestling. Indy Hartwell, the Young Bucks, Okada, and more. So that's who we expect. It's 16 minutes in. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching this video so much. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Like this video if you did. And we'll see you next time. Peace.